Hello everyone. I want to welcome you to an On Time, the Strutting Man Show. I'm the Strutting Man here in my hometown of Jonesboro, Arkansas. My name is Mr. Ozzy Rose. I want to welcome everybody to the show. Viewers, anybody I may or may not have in the live chat, anybody I may or may not have as audio guests. I hope everyone's having a good, blessed night tonight. I hope you're staying good, safe, and warm. I hope y'all had a good, safe, and warm day today. I got my one day a month laundry done for the next 30 days, so I got that done. The only strutting I got to do today was out in front of the laundromat on G Street while I was washing and drying my clothes. Tomorrow, I still got to go to Walmart. I wasn't able to go today, but I'm going to go to the one on Highland Drive. And I took a taxi to the laundromat back here. And I told them, I said, well, I'll be calling y'all tomorrow to come pick me up, to bring me back here, I said, because I'm going to have quite a load from Walmart. They said, okie dokie, Ozzy. So I'm going to strut from here, the Wendy's here on Far Southwest Drive, to the one on Highland. I got to order me some eyeglasses, plus buy quite a few things. So I'll get a taxi to bring me back. So you'll get to see me strut full force, full strength a lot of time tomorrow. So I hope to see everybody out there. Of course, y'all know I love doing it. Nothing like rocking and rolling, that's for sure. I contacted my friend Siobhan, who was on last night's show too, and see if she was going to come on tonight. And I think she said she'd be home around 7 or maybe 7:30. I said, well, that sounds good, sweetheart. Just when you get home, let me know here, and I'll put you right on. I've got everything caught up too. I got my evening post done and posted. Before that, I got done my commentary segment, which the topic was called Too Cold. I meant it several different ways, or at least two different ways, like the too cold weather we had here, but also like being too cold in a relationship too. So I hope y'all like it. The only thing I got to do, I got to make sure that I end this show before 60 minutes, because I thought I did last night and it was 2 minutes over. And it won't let me post the show highlights from Facebook Live on TikTok if it's 60 minutes or longer. So, and of course, that was on me. I posted it on, Facebook, Messenger, Threads, Instagram, and my YouTube account, but I couldn't post the show highlights last night on TikTok for my fans over there. So, I'll end it in time tonight to do that for those who want to check it out on TikTok. I could care less about TikTok, as y'all know, but I mean, for my fans and followers that want to check it out, that way they can check it out over there too. I mean, I think I'm reinstated on TikTok at around 8 o'clock tonight, but I just really don't have a desire for it. As long as I can get strong connection, I'll probably just keep it here. I mean, that's what I would like to do. I'm tired of making TikTok money anyways. I don't care for TikTok. I'm not ever going to care for it. I don't care if it's sold or not. I'm not ever going to like TikTok. That's just me, But let me see. I don't think there's anybody in there yet. No, there's not. Usually it'll light up for sure when there's someone in it. Now, I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to hit on the Friends Not Watching list. That way it'll ring their bell to see if they want to come over. Like my good friend, Mr. J.W. Sellers. He's right on the top of the list there. I hope you're recuperating well, my friend, from the motorcycle accident you had on Christmas Eve. I know I've been seeing on Facebook and stuff that you have been. I know you had to have surgery, but I'm glad that you're doing a lot better. Because that happened to him on Christmas Eve of all times. So it said slow connection, so a lot of the boxes ain't even lit up for me to hit on because it's a bad connection here. I think I hit on about 13 or 14 that ain't white boxes. Okay. But anyways, I've got about everything caught up that I need to get done except for going to Walmart tomorrow, ordering me some glasses, getting quite a few grocery items and stuff like that. I'll have more than I can carry back, so that's why I'm going to get a taxi back. The woman in the taxi that was bringing me back, she was telling me about a woman that it was after we got this snow that I forget where she told me this happened in Jonesboro, but she was buck naked, and the police were called. So they probably took her to one of the area hospitals here to get her checked out physically, and then probably had to have her go to St. Bernard's Behavioral Health because anybody that was buck naked in this type of cold that we had, because this happened a few days back, I told the lady that gave me the text here, I said either one or two things, or two things was definitely apparent. Either the woman was completely gone on drugs or mentally out of it, or both. I said, because this is the type of cold that we've not had since I think 79. I seen where Ryan Bond posted on there. He had some picture video from the winter of 79. I remember it very vividly, believe me. And I'm an old guy, so I definitely know what it was like then. For sure. So, you know, and this brought back memories. The snow and cold weather brought back memories of back then, 79, 80, or 81. I know in 81 we had some bone cold temperatures, but we didn't have no snow. So that's what I'm saying. 79 we did, you know. Of course, that's a long time ago. But anyways, I hope Chiffon does come on tonight. I mean, she usually comes on. If not on the TikTok live, she'll come over here of late. I mean, I know she's got I think she's got 4 little kids at home. So naturally, she's tied up with kids and stuff too. So I totally understand that and respect that totally. But I know she said she had to go to the store and some stuff, and she said she'd be home by 7 or 7:30. I said, well, just make sure you're home before you come on, because I don't want her to be out driving and come on. She's done that before, but I don't want her to be distracted and have a wreck by no means, you know, because her kids do depend on her, you know. So, and she's a single parent, so, you know. I know Facebook, it's a slow connection, you know, but like I said, I think they was going to reinstate the show on TikTok, I think at 8 p.m. tonight. So, you know, is what it is. But like I said, I've gotten a lot of things caught up. I didn't sleep but about 3 hours last night, but I slept good. And I was able to get up real early and get to rocking and rolling, getting things done. So I've about got everything caught up that I need to, that the snow caused me to get behind on, because I couldn't walk nowhere. No sidewalks was even remotely good to walk on or anything. So after tomorrow, I should be okay for a little while. So, you know, that way I can get back to doing which I will be strutting full force, full strength tomorrow. But I mean, that way I can just continuously do that. I don't like to take any personal days for any type of taking care of business or anything. That's just me. But sometimes I have to, you know. But anyways, I'm going to check the list now again and see if the white boxes, there was a lot of empty white boxes that it wasn't showing no blue on because it was a bad slow connection here. It's still doing that. Yeah. But I'm hitting on the ones that do show blue. And see, and this is Wednesday night, so, you know, people are in church. A lot of people went to church services, and I totally get that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But got my hair cut yesterday at Great Clips, like I've been wanting to, and turns out the lady there, God forbid, I can't remember her first name, but I knew she looked familiar when I went in. I've gotten my hair, that makes the 4th time I got it cut there, but I never knew she worked there before, and I know her and her fiance from Cope Without Dope, so it was good to see her. She snapped a picture of us together. She did a good job on my hair, cutting it really good. And then James come in, her fiance, James hugged me. It was good to see James. You know, I usually, more than not, when I'm out there strutting, I run into at least 1 or 2 friends I've met in the AA halls, if not the NA halls, every day that I go strutting. At least 1 or 2. If not, maybe a little more than that some days. So it's always good to see them. I made a lot of great friends in them halls, and that's something I am proud of there. And J.W. Sellers was one of them, who I mentioned earlier. That wreck that he had on Christmas Eve, it was pretty bad. It was either 2 or 3 brain bleeds, and they stopped that pretty quickly. But his collarbone here, I think, was snapped in half, and I don't think they operated on that for 2 or 3 days. But he's been doing good. I see Ashley and him posting things on Facebook, so it's good to see JW. He's got the same amount clean time that I do. I met him, I think, the 3rd day I was in Jonesboro. I met him at Cope. Really good guy. Hey, Chad Hale. Chad Hale's the one I met. Hey, Chad, how you and the missus doing? Y'all doing okay? I hope y'all are. James and Chad's got a construction business together too. I hope everything's going well with you, Chad. I was trying to remember your wife's name, and I can't remember her name. First name to save my life. Valerie. Chad and Valerie. Yeah. Goes to show you what happens when you get old, folks. You start forgetting people that you know. So that's what you have to look forward to when you get older. Then you can't see and then you can't hear, huh? And that happens too. So I would tell you, don't get old. Stay young if you can help it, But Chad, I'm glad you're watching. Maybe Valerie's watching with you tonight. He goes, yes, we're doing well, Ozzy. Good. I'm glad you are. I know you and James have got the construction business together. His fiance cut my hair yesterday at Great Clips, Chad. So I knew she looked familiar when I went in, but I couldn't place her at first. And then when I sat in the chair, she started talking to me, and then she was saying that she remembers seeing me at the meetings. And I said, that's where I seen you at, So she snapped a picture of us yesterday. And she did do a good job on my hair. I really liked what she did. So it was good to see her. Good to see James too. And it's good to know you and James is in got this construction business together too. I hope everything goes well with you two on that, Chad. And I hope Valerie's doing okay too. But it's good to know that JW, didn't die in that wreck. That was for sure. I remember when that first happened, I had the live show going then. And I told everybody they'd say a good prayer for him, So he could have lost his life, and thank God that he didn't. But I'm glad you and Valerie are doing well, Chad Hale. But yeah, that's the thing. I met so many people at the halls and made friends with so many men and women alike. So it's always good when I go out strutting and I run into at least 1 or 2, if not a few more than that, when I go out. So it's good to see them. Good to see everybody still doing good. Okay, Chad Hale goes, thanks, Ozzy. Take care, buddy. You too, Chad. Thank you so much, buddy. Tell Valerie that I said hey, okay? I'm going to hit on the friends not watching list again. Wait a minute. Okay, I hit on the wrong one. Okay. All right, maybe now we'll see. Yeah, I'm still got a bad connection here. It's not the worst. If it's the worst, the show would just end automatically. I don't want to have to start the show back up on TikTok, but I have a feeling eventually I'm going to have to because of that. At least with TikTok, that you don't have bad connection issues with that on a live show. So, I may have to. So if I have to, I will. I know I'm reinstated, I think, as of 8 o'clock tonight on there. And I got a strike. So what, TikTok? I don't care if you give me 3 strikes and put me out. I wish you would suspend my account. I don't need you. It'd be different if I needed you, TikTok. I'm well established here. I don't need you anymore. But Chad, I'm so glad that you came in the live chat here, talked to me a little bit here, and let me know that y'all were doing okay. Yeah, and she was telling me too, James's fiance, that she's going to be a peer support specialist, and I told her congratulations. So I know she'll like doing that. That's helping people. So she will. She'll like doing that. I don't know what the pay scale is. I know it pays, but I think it pays decent anyway. Okay, I brought the list back up again. Okay. All right, I'm going to hit on a few more, and then I'll give it a break for a minute. Okay. All right. That's enough for right now. But, I know it was a little bit chillier today than what it was yesterday. That's for sure. Now, tomorrow, I've seen on my phone, it's supposed to be a high around 45. Then I think Friday up in the 60s, if I remember saying it right. So I know that's going to seem like summer compared to what we had. So I know I'm going to be looking forward to it. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I know I am. I was talking to Rico here about it, and he's looking forward to that too. I said, yeah, me too. Of course, when we have 110 degree heat, we'll be praying for days like today. I know how I feel, just like y'all. I felt like I was melting out there, so I do know how that feels. I mean, I had to take some breaks, but I didn't take a lot of sitting down breaks. I would take like one sitting down break. I just made sure I hydrated more than anything. Hey, Jacob Dylan Haley, I see you up there, buddy. I don't see your name here, but I know that's you up there. I always know you when I see you up there. But thanks, Jacob, for joining in up here to check out the show. But, probably that's what I'm going to have to do is go back to TikTok, even though I don't want to have the TikTok live show, because I never have connection issues with the TikTok live. On the Facebook live, I do, and there's nobody in here on really much on internet in here. There's one employee with her phone, but I mean, that's nothing. So, the connection should be pretty good through here. But, weather depends on that too sometimes, so, weather can play into it, and it can break down parts of town. I know when I'm out there strutting, sometimes it happens, so, okay, I'm just trying to see if I can scroll up, but it's not, there's nothing in there for me to scroll up with. But like I said, I was going to tell you too, though, the woman that brought me back, I won't mention her name in the taxi. She's telling me about this one woman that I know her real well too. She's a homeless woman, and she pushes a cart around. And the woman that was driving the taxi knows me real well too. And she said, I was worried about you and her. I said, well, I would have fared out all right. I was in the gym, but I said, I would have been okay in the tent. I said, but I was wondering about her. I said, you talking about the lady that pushes the cart? She goes, yeah. I said, so is she's still alive and okay? She said, yeah. I said, okay, yeah. I said, I was worried about her. I knew she was homeless. I know some other ones that are homeless. So that's who I was most concerned with when this happened. And I would bring it up in the shows. I would bring it up in my evening post because that's who I truly worried about, was the homeless getting frostbite or freezing to death, getting hypothermia too. So, hey, Mark Cromwell, it says to bring Mark on. We'll see if Mark wants to come on. He may not. It shows, but I don't know. He may. But, that's who I was mostly concerned with. If I wouldn't have been asked to stay at the gym, I would have made it just fine in the tent. But, I was truly worried about the homeless. I know last winter, that same woman, I lived over on Monroe at the time, and I would see her when I would walk down Main Street, and she had a pallet made right in front of, I was trying to think of the name of that restaurant on Main. So I was worried about her back then, a year ago. But turns out she fared out okay. So she's tough, I think. If you can survive that, being homeless, you're pretty doggone tough. So I don't know her by first name. I know she smokes, so sometimes when I see her, whether I know she has cigarettes or not, a lot of times I'll give her cigarettes. So yeah, she usually pushes a cart around. She don't bother nobody or nothing like that. Connection failed. Okay, but yeah, I was concerned for her and some others that I definitely knew were homeless. Because one night it was down to 0 and it was going to feel like about 8 to 10 below, and that's what I kind of worried about, was the homeless. Also, I worried about stray cats and dogs too. So That's what I was most concerned with. I would have fared out okay in my tent, but I knew others probably wouldn't, you know. Uh, so, and then the summertime, with the homeless battle, it's not just the heat. The mosquitoes eat them alive because they don't have money for a mosquito repellent, and they don't know, like I do, that if you cover your body in mud, mosquitoes won't bite. Uh, you know, So, and a lot of them don't know that. So, yeah, that's the thing about the summer months. It's one thing on the heat. The heat, you won't freeze to death like you will in the winter, but the mosquitoes eat you alive because it's like a little nom through here. Used to, we didn't have rice fields in northeast Arkansas. It was mostly soybeans, cotton, and milo is mostly what it was. And then farmers started seeing where the real money was at, that it was in rice. So they started converting to rice, most of them. We still have some cotton, not a lot of it. We still have milo more than we do cotton, and there's a lot of corn. But that's why I call it Little Knob. Over in Paragould, they'll bite you all day and all night there. That's how bad the mosquitoes are there because the rice field farmers pump that water in there and it makes mosquitoes just go nuts on steroids. And they'll bite through a jacket. If you wear a jacket in the spring and summer months in Paragould, them mosquitoes will bite through that jacket. So they're actually worse there than they are here in Jonesboro. So I would tell anybody, yeah, mosquitoes are bad everywhere in Arkansas, but in Paragould, they're like on steroids. And they're big ones, too. They're not the small bloodsuckers, they're the big ones. But, of course, that's what Nam was all about because there was rice fields everywhere. That's the way it is here now, So that's what makes it so terrible in the spring and summer months here is the mosquitoes. Then, too, you can get encephalitis from that, stuff like that, too. So, I mean, mosquitoes mean business. Okay. Let me see, which I know there's nobody in the guest box. It's not lit up. On here, it lights up the minute somebody gets on it, unlike TikTok. But I'm going to go down the list and see who I can see about getting to ring their bell to see if they'll come on. It's mostly about the live chat. I don't get as many in the live chat on Facebook Live like I do TikTok Live, and I don't. I mean, I understand the younger crowd, that's what they like is TikTok. I mean, but I'm not the younger crowd. I'm the older crowd, So, if they suspend my whole account, they'd be doing me a favor. That way I don't have to deal with TikTok anymore, So that, I mean, I just say that about me, And I've gotten one strike, so I hope I get two more strikes pretty quick and they suspend my account indefinitely. That's what I would love to happen because I don't need them. I'm well known around here, and that's good enough for me. I don't have to be well known nationwide. As long as I'm well known around here, and I've got that tenfold, so I could care less if I'm known nationwide or not. That's just me. And I don't care to be known nationwide. As long as I'm pretty well known through here, and I have been for a little while now, so I'm not. I don't care about the nationwide thing. That's just me. But I tell you what I'm thinking about doing since I got this time. I haven't given up on the strutting tour here in Arkansas, but probably what I'll do is I would like to do it since the hardcore winter's here. I might do a Gump thing. I may walk to my towns to do the strutting tour because I don't have the funds to pay for gas, even for a four-cylinder vehicle. I don't have that kind of money. I barely get through every month. So I wouldn't mind walking to my towns to do a strutting tour to promote emotional, mental, and physical well-being. So that's probably what I'm looking at. I'm going to wait till the springtime temperatures gets in really good, and then that's probably what I'll do. Now I'm not going to go to Little Rock. That's what Autumn Gibson wanted me to do, but that was Autumn Gibson. I do what I want to do. I'm not going to go to West Memphis. I'm not going to go to Marion. So, I mean, those are just some towns I'm definitely not going to. Forest City, no. But, I mean, I still would like to go to Brooklyn, of course. I don't really have a desire to go to Lake City, but I go to Paragould, maybe branch on up to Walnut Ridge, and go from there. So I may do a Forrest Gump type of thing, except he walked to the West Coast, to the East Coast, to the Pacific Northwest, to New England and back. I'm not going to do that. But I may walk to my strut tour towns, so it's something I'm still thinking about doing. And I do want to do a strut tour here in Arkansas, only in Arkansas. But I would like to go to, I'm not going to go to Harrison, but I would like to go to Mountain Home, of course, Fayetteville and Springdale, maybe Fort Smith, you know. Texarkana, Arkansas is another one that I would like to go to. Don't have no desire to want to go to Pine Bluff either. Conway, yeah, I might go there, but I wouldn't mind going to Monticello. I wouldn't mind going to Hamburg, Arkansas too. That's about the only ones I want to go to though. And of course it would take me a pretty good long stretch because even though I walk 6 miles an hour to get to the far off towns, it would, So, but that's what I'm kind of thinking about doing. I'm still wanting to come to ASU. Once I get everything done tomorrow, then I can see when I can focus on coming back to college here in Jonesboro. I hadn't been there in a while. It's been about 4 or 5 months now since I've been there. So, once I get everything I got to get tomorrow, I can fine tune it a little bit better, see what the temperatures are going to be, and get me a taxi to take me there. Because I could get there and go through the college before dark, but I wouldn't have enough time to get back here before dark. So I'll probably get a taxi to take me from here to ASU, and then I should have enough time to strut from there all the way back. So that's what I'm looking at. But I want to wait till we get probably Saturday, see maybe about what Saturday, Sunday, Monday temperature is going to be. And then I can fine tune it a little bit more after tomorrow and let everybody know at ASU. Because of course I want to make sure the students are there. I had to wait. Originally I was going to do it before right when winter break happened. And I checked the phone that night, said they was out for winter break. So and then the snow put me behind getting things done on my end. Now I'm about to get those caught up. So I'm looking to go to ASU anytime after tomorrow. I like to go there once a month, to ASU. Now, mind you, if I do the strutting tour in the spring, the main show will always be here in Jonesboro, of course. But I can't do a strutting thing here in Jonesboro if I'm walking to every town. So, the only other way I could do a strutting tour is if area businesses sponsored me, but I don't want that because I'm not going to plug their business. The only business I plug is emotional, mental, and physical well-being, me and the Lord, and that's it. I don't work for nobody. And if area businesses sponsored the tour, I would have to work for them, and I'm just not going to do it. I work, like I said, for me and him. That's it. So no sponsoring, no nothing. That's just me. That reminds me, I wanted to give a big shout out to my good friend Major. He knows who he is. Major, I hope you're having a good evening, my friend. I hope you had a blessed day today. I know a lot of times I forget to even bring your name up on the show, but I hope you're doing well. As you know me, I'm doing okay. But I wanted to give a big shout out to my friend Major. He knows who he is. Let me see what time it is. The only way I can do that is tell my friend's not watching this. 7:28. Okay, Mark Cromwell. Well, I hit for you a while ago, and you didn't want to come on camera, but I'll hit him back for you again to see if you want to, or just check the show out. Major, he would be the only one I would accept help from. I've accepted help from him twice. But my days of accepting help from people are null now, because when I've accepted help from certain businesses, they expected something in return. And I don't do that. If I help somebody out, I don't expect nothing. I never did. I'm not going to start. So that's just me. But Major knows that I think the world of him. I can't give out his real name because he doesn't want me to, and I won't. But he's a good guy. He's helped me out 2 different times, quite a few ways. So If I accepted help, it would only be from him, and that would be it. My days of accepting help are just about no. And y'all may see in my evening post now, the only ones that I back, and that's going to be it. I'm not backing no new businesses anymore. There's certain ones I let go, you know, and I did. Some didn't do nothing wrong. Some did. But my evening posts were long enough. I had to shorten them up somehow, some way. So I've shortened up the words the best I can. I had to take some businesses off, and some did something to me, some didn't, and just do the main ones. So that's why the evening posts on the shout outs and hellos, they're not as long anymore, you know. So uh, that's just me. I had to shorten it up because even still yet, most people is not going to have the time to read that long of a post. I get that. And then some's attention spans, bless their hearts, just don't go that far either. I understand that too. Your attention span only goes so far for all of us. We're all tuned one way or another on our attention span. Some goes longer than others, some don't, and they can't help that. And I understand that. I get that. But it is what it is. I had to leave some off that hadn't done nothing to me, but I had to. The way I looked at it, I had to only do the main ones, and that's it, you know. But I don't know if my friend D over at the East Arkansas Area Agency on Aging, if they're still in that same building or not. Tomorrow, when I'm by the Walmart on Highland, I'm going to go over and see if they still are, because I know the structure is not safe there, I think on the inside anyways, and that's why Gina's place had to leave. But I haven't heard nothing from Dee. She hadn't given me a text saying, well, we moved to another building or anything, so they may still be in the same building. I don't know. But I'm going to check tomorrow and see before I go in Walmart on Highland and see if they're still going to stay there and everything. I hadn't been by there in a while. I used to go by there every once in a while, at least once or twice a week, but I've been so busy I hadn't even been there, I don't think, in a month and a half, you know. But I know they're doing okay over there, or Dee would give me a text and say otherwise, you know. So I'm going to hit on the friends not watching list again. Well, I hit on the wrong one then. Okay. Got to get it right there, Ozzy. Okay. I mean, I've hit on a bunch already. But I don't think Chiffon's going to be able to come on. I bet something happened with her kids. She may have had to cook supper for them, too, because they're little bitty kids. So, I mean, I bet you she did and got tied up. That's what happened. And I totally get that, too. Kids come first. Everybody else comes last when it comes to kids. Okay. I'll hit on a few more, call it quits for a little bit. Okay. All right. I did. Okay. But, and I bet you, because last night when Chiffon was on, she was cooking supper for him then when she was on the show I believe last night. So, uh, you know, so I bet you that's what she had to do. She had to cook supper for her kids, and they're little. So I think she got one that's 18, but I think the other four are pretty little kids, what I could tell. And kids naturally stay hungry because they're always growing. So, you know, got to meet kids get hungry, you got to meet that demand. So that's what a parent does. But thanks, Mark, for still watching the show up here. I understood you didn't want to come on. Uh, I know it's not for everybody. Let me see what my percentage is here. 91, okay. It's 91, so I try not to let it get down hardly at all. He goes, I'm watching the NASCAR clash on Fox tonight. Okay, I understand. I get that real good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now, I can watch a NASCAR race, but I wouldn't go to a NASCAR race. I'm not going to sit out there for hours and hours and hours in the elements. That's just me. I know a lot of people like that, and they do it. They grill and all that good stuff, and more power to them. But I can't sit for no 4 or 5 hours. I can't sit like that, anyways. That's just me. But I can watch them, but I can't. And I can stand up and do a lot of things and watch a NASCAR race. But being there and sitting in them stands, that would be a butt kill for me. But some do like going to them. More power to them. The ones that do. You know. But I totally get that, Mark. Yeah, totally get it. Uh, I really love Dale Earnhardt Sr. I was a real big fan of his, and I remember watching the NASCAR race that day when he died. So uh, I know Earnhardt Jr. won a lot of races, after that, but I was a big time Dale Earnhardt Sr. Follower when he was alive. So, but I don't know if y'all seen this or not on Facebook. I seen it. It's either yesterday or day before yesterday. Ryan Bond over there at KIT bent over in the snow and said he's seen his shadow, and the shadow he's seen was not of him. He's seen the groundhog shadow. Uh, but it was pretty funny, you know. Uh, so Mark Cromwell goes, yes, he was the man for sure. Talking about Dale Earnhardt Sr. Yeah, he truly was. I mean, I really thought the world of him. My late wife was alive, and she had on her personal check, she had Dale Earnhardt Sr. NASCAR checks from her personal account. Uh, and she was a big, same like me. She liked Earnhardt Sr. a lot. That was my favorite. That was her favorite as far as the NASCAR driver went. You know, so yeah, he was it. That was for sure. You know, I did see the movie. There were several different ones that made movies about him. I've seen two movies that was made. The one from ESPN, and I forget the name or who made the other one. Uh, so. But yeah, I mean, it was in his blood really from about birth. I think he didn't want to work. All he wanted to do was drive cars. He didn't want to work a job like his dad did before him. His dad worked a job and then would race on the side. And Dale didn't want to do that. He wanted to just race. But it was in his blood, is what it was. So he knew what he wanted and he went after it. So I mean, I can't blame him for that. You know. So yeah, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, the big thing they called them stock car races back then. You go watch a stock car race, back in the late '60s, early '70s. Was what I got to go do around here. That was pretty fun, for back then. You know, I like to watch them. I think they're called sprint cars or something. I forget what they call them. I still like to watch them if I ever get a chance to. Those are all right. I want to call them sprints, but they're not sprint cars. They're called something else. I like to watch them. They're on a dirt track. I'm not talking about derby races either. Uh, I forget what they call them. I used to know what they called them. I used to like to still watch them. I knew a guy out in Oklahoma when I lived out there. He drove one of them out there. You know. Well, okay. Yeah, Mark Cromwell's the only one in my friends not watching list. I checked it though. Uh, okay, it's 7:38. So I can for sure say that 3 or 4 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes till 8. I'll end the show to make sure this time that I got the show ended before 60 minutes is up. That way I can post the show highlights on TikTok for the fans and followers over there. So, because I thought I did last night and I was 2 minutes over. So I did. Everything is updated. I was wanting to let everybody know that too. Everything is up to date on my YouTube account. I mean, I've got everything on there. Now, I don't have my post on there, like my first post of the day, my second post of the day. I don't have them on. I don't have the post on there, but I have all my strutting videos on there. Every confessions video on there. All my commentary segments on there, including the one today on my YouTube account. Mark Cromwell goes, at our dirt track here in Clay Hill Motorsports Park, we run the sprint cars when we can. Okay, well, I did have it right then. Yeah, they're called sprint cars. Yeah. Yeah, see, I still like I'm a big fan of those still, too, you know. Now, I don't know where Clay Hill Motorsports is at. Where's that at? Where are you at, Mark? You don't have to say what town, but what state are you in? Because I don't know where Clay Hill Motorsports is at. Are you here in Arkansas? Uh, you don't have to give your town. Just say what state you're in. Because I still like to watch them. Because it reminds me in a way of the old start car races we used to have here in Arkansas across the South back then, in the late '60s, early '70s. I got to ride in one when I was a little boy once. Clay Hill Motorsports Park is at Altwood, Tennessee. I am in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Okay. Okay, because I didn't think that was in Arkansas. That's why I wanted to ask you what state you was from. Are you in Middle Tennessee, East Tennessee? Where are you from over there in Tennessee? Because I've never heard of Hurricane Mills. Is why I'm asking. I don't think that's in West Tennessee, is it? Because I'm here in Northeast Arkansas. I mean, I'm not saying it ain't. Could be, and I don't know it. I usually knew most of West Tennessee. But yeah, the sprint cars, I would love to still watch that. You know, but like I said, I knew a guy out in Oklahoma. My mom married his dad, and he used the sprint cars out there. But he also did derby races too. You know, demolition races. What he did too. Uh, but he loved doing those two things. You know. Okay, Mark Cromwell goes, Middle and Hurricane Mills is the home of Loretta Lynn, the country singer. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's Middle Tennessee. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I know she was born in Kentucky and raised there. So you mean that was her? I mean, yeah, I mean, I knew she had a Middle Tennessee home there outside of Nashville somewhere. I knew she had two different homes. One was kind of like a haunted home that she uh, turned into kind of like a tourist thing for people. You know, I've seen Ghost Adventures go there. So, but yeah, yeah, Middle Tennessee, yeah, yeah. I was going to say because I know most of West Tennessee, and I didn't think it was nowhere there, but I wasn't going to say for sure it wasn't there. But I thought you was Middle or East Tennessee. I've been seeing quite a few things about Dolly Parton out on Facebook. I know she's pretty old and her health is getting pretty bad. Uh, of course, her husband died not very long ago too. You know, so uh, and I know she did a lot for the people that their homes and stuff got burned up in East Tennessee back then when that happened. But yeah, Middle Tennessee. It's been a long time since I've been to Nashville. It's been a real long time since I've been to Middle Tennessee. Very long time. It's been over 30 years since I've been through there. I know Nashville now is the biggest populated city in Tennessee. It ain't Memphis anymore. People got tired of Memphis. They started moving out of there. Crime, main attractions still keep getting shut down. I mean, Memphis is not happening, you know, at all. Hadn't been in a lot of years, you know. So that's what I'm saying. The crime is not as bad in Nashville. You know, there's more things to do there. Mark Cromwell goes, I lived in Truman for quite a few years. Oh, no, I'm sorry to hear that. And graduated high school from Truman School, but I was born in St. Louis. Okay. Well, you know, I went to school there. That's where my growing up years, but 2 weeks into the ninth, I was kicked out. So for fighting for 3 days. And he said, when you come back, you get in another fight, I'll kick you out for the whole year. So I just stayed out, and I went to work at Arbor Products. Then when they shut down, then I went to Rector just for a couple of months, then on to Memphis from then on. So, but uh, but you graduated from Truman, so I mean, I would have if that hadn't happened. I mean, I would have graduated, and I wanted to come on to ASU and take meteorology and business is what I wanted to take. And then I also wanted to go to police academy too. So, uh, but those three things didn't happen. I mean, I learned about business. Don't get me wrong. Hardcore. I had 50% ownership in a floor covering company over in Memphis with my late uncle by marriage. But you know, it'd been better if I had the degree in business and meteorology, and then, and like I said, I wanted to go to police academy too. So I got to chase my other dreams, but I didn't get to chase those three. So you know, I wished I had them. But you was born in St. Louis, but you went to school and graduated in Truman. So yeah, that's a stretch from St. Louis to Truman. So you know, well, I mean, I learned Freezer Thompson just passed away very recently. He was, well, I understand it, he was in a nursing home there. I didn't know it when I moved back there, or I would have went and seen him, but I didn't know it when I was actually there. I didn't know it till a man come on my live show this past summer. He was promoting the wrestling event they was going to have at the barbecue fest here, and we got to talk about wrestling, and he told me Freezer was in a Truman nursing home. I said, "Oh, really?" He told me how long he'd been there. I said, "Well, I wished I'd known that when I was living there. I would have went and seen him because it'd been since '86 the last time I'd seen him." You know, so I'm sorry to hear about Freezer Thompson. You know, but I mean, and Freezer he was a really nice guy. He was that way in school. He was that way as a grown man. I was too. I was the same way when I was in school, same way as a grown man. But you push me and I get violent real quick. You know, now Fraser would too. Now, if you made him mad, it was like a bear coming at you. You know, he was the same way. He was a nice guy, but you didn't push him. You know, Mark Promo goes, all my family raised in and around Truman, mom and dad, grandparents, everyone. Okay. Yeah, it's probably raised in a better time and probably come up in a better time there like I did. It's just when meth came there in '86, I got turned on to it shortly before I left. I didn't like it, and that's what kind of took over the town was methamphetamine. And all the jobs started going out. 2 taxis went out. All 7 grocery stores went out. Drugs come in and took over. Uh, and corruption is big time there because of that. So, you know, I'm sad to say, you know, I mean, it's one thing about the bars and clubs closing because there was a lot of fights, there was killings there. I can understand that, but when the jobs went out, drug come in, corruption started, and you know, it's nothing like it used to be. It's turning into a ghost town. I'm sad to say. Mark Cromwell goes, I left there in '88. Well, I left there in '86, my friend. So yeah, I mean, that was a good thing on your part and on my part that we left there. You know, I just should have never moved back there. You know, but I learned the hard way. You know, and so that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying there's been a lot of good people come from that town, and that's true. There has been. Fraser was one. I was too. You were. I'm sure your parents, grandparents. It's just that 98% of the town is really bad now. 2% of the people there are good, but the other 98% ain't worth a damn. You know. So that's what I'm saying. And drugs brings corruption. So even the business owners that don't do drugs in Truman, they're corrupt. What I mean by that is you can go into a convenience store and get you a pack of smokes, and they'll charge you double or triple to see if you'll pay for it. You know, that's what I mean by corruption. You know, so And if you're dirt poor and you move to that town, you will not survive. Unless you did like I did, which was eating out of trash cans. But I mean, yeah, I got addicted to a drug, but even if I hadn't have done that, it's impossible to make a living in Truman, Arkansas on poor finances. There was a lot of homeless there, but I was surprised about the homeless. Most of the homeless were real young people, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Over there by George's Liquor, that's the only business open in that part of town. All the rest of them have been dry rot for years. They need to be tore down and drug off like the old Maxi Theater needs to. You know, so much of Truman is that now. It's a ghost town. I know they're building that new subdivision, but there's nobody going to move there and buy them houses. I can tell you that, not many at all. There's no job supporting that there, other than roaches. You know, so that's what I'm saying. That's a waste of money, the subdivision that's been put over there, because most people are not going to move to Truman. You know, when there's no jobs that can support that type of mortgage, you know. So it is what it is. I think it was a waste of money. You know, I mean, I wouldn't live there now if you bought me one of them houses. Just to be frankly honest with you, I would not live there. Period. I don't care if you bought me a brand new brick home. I'm not going to live there. You know, it's not worth living in. The town is not. It's not the name of the town that makes it a bad town. It's the people in it that makes it a good or a bad town. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, I know some people like Paulette that works for the East Arkansas Area Agency. I wish she would get out of Truman because she's a good person. You know, and of course she don't do the drug thing or anything like that. And I wish she would get out of there. Because it's the crime statistics is worse in Truman than it is Jonesboro, hands down. You know, that's what I'm saying. Crime wise, it's not worth living there. You know, not to count the corruption in every business, including the post office. You know, so that's what I'm saying. The good people, that what few is there, needs to get the hell out of there. You know, before something happens to them. You know, that's why I say that. You know. Let me see what time it is. Okay, I'm going to end it at 7:55 because it's 7:51. That way I know for a fact I'll have the show off before 60 minutes is up. That way I can post the show highlights. But I'm glad you left there, Mark, in 88. I mean, I left there in 86. So, you know, I just should have never moved back there. I mean, I knew before I moved back there that the bars and clubs were gotten rid of by the city council a lot of years ago. Mark Cromwell goes, houses in Arkansas are dirt cheap compared to what they are here. Well, yeah, I know that too, Mark. But I know a woman that lives in Truman. I met her in the AA halls. And she said, well, Ozzy, the only reason why I live there is because my rent's for free. I said, still, you don't need to be there. You know, I don't care if you got a brand new home to live in, rent free, it's not worth living there. Even the professionals are corrupt. The doctor's offices are there. I went to one there that works for St. Bernard's, and he tried to tell me that my sugar was elevated, and he wanted me on 2 insulin shots a day. I said, doctor, you're crazy. I said, I got a guy that works for St. Bernard's over in Paragould, and I said, it's just barely elevated. If I take 2 shots of insulin, that'll kill me. You know, and if I'd have listened to him, either it would have killed me or given me sugar diabetes. What happened was when he took the blood out of me that morning, I hadn't ate nothing yet. So that's what I mean. Even the professionals are corrupt in Truman, Arkansas. You know, and that's sad to say. You know, and it is. You know, you can't go to NEA doctors in Truman. You can't go to St. Bernard related doctors. They'll kill you if you listen to them. You know. So that's what I'm saying. Corruption is at an all-time high in every business in that town, including the post office. And I'm not just saying that, you know. But yeah, I know the housing market in Arkansas is cheaper, I guess you could say, Mark, especially compared to Middle Tennessee. Yeah. Okay, in 1 minute I'll end the show, folks. But I want to go ahead and take this time to thank Mark Cromwell, who's over in Middle Tennessee, for coming on the show tonight in the live chat, watching the show too. everybody that's been in the live chat tonight. Thank y'all so much. And of course, the viewers. Uh, and I would tell everyone, please join me again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time for another edition of the Strutting Man Show here on Facebook Live. If I have to go back to TikTok, I will. I just don't want to right now. But if I have to, I will go back. I can start the show back at 8 o'clock tonight, but I'm not going to. If I go back, it might be tomorrow night. I'll see. I really don't want to have to, but if I have to, I will. Uh, and I'll text Chiffon and see if everything's okay with her though and everything. But thanks, Mark Cromwell, for really being in the live chat tonight and talking about old times in Truman. It's been great to go back and revisit the better times in that town, for sure. You know. Let me see here. Okay, it's 7:55. So I done thanked everybody. Mark, you and your family have a blessed night tonight, and everybody do that. Stay warm. Have a blessed night. We'll see you again tomorrow night. God bless you all, and have a good night, everybody. So long. So long, Mark.